Welcome. This is your reading for the next week to 2 weeks. Now, if you're catching this when it comes out, this is the week of Christmas. This is a season and really just a time in the year where there's a lot of focus on family and giving and abundance. And let's sort of open up in this reading for those energies to come in. How can we give and receive more easily? How can we welcome in abundance? And how can we be with the people around us with a lot more love, a lot more gratitude, and also a lot more reciprocity? These are just some initial cards popping out to get us going and flowing, also some major energies. So we've got, what order do these want to come out in? Oh, by the way, my name is Nikki. I am a spiritual life coach. I am a tarot reader, and I do these every single week. So wherever you found this, whether it's on Spotify or on YouTube, or maybe you've seen a clip on it on Instagram, come over and follow me on all the places and watch these regularly for guidance, support, and help in creating your most magical life. All right, so the first one that popped out was the 10 of Wands sideways. I see this as like a soft, gentle caution on not taking on too much during this time. If you have a lot of family, coming to visit, or maybe you need to travel, or maybe there are certain things that need to get done in this time of the year that don't normally need to get done, you will need to reassess your capacity and make sure you're not taking on too much. This is very important as well if you do have the opportunity, let's say, to continue to work or to continue your normal routine over the Christmas period or the holiday season, or even just this end of year kind of time. And you don't factor in that there is a lot of other things going on at this time, even if it's just energetically. You might not have people visiting, or you might not be going to visit anyone, but there is something about this time of year where, different things are open, there are different events on, different kind of expectations on, what happens in this year, and all of that does get to us on some level. So a soft, gentle caution to keep your capacity in mind, allow yourself to renegotiate your responsibilities, and also make sure that things stay fair and balanced. We did have the Queen of Swords, and she came out to basically cross this card. The Queen of Swords is all about getting a higher perspective and also being decisive once you understand what you need to do. So when you have that understanding of your capacity and you realize what is your priorities, I can't tell you to take confident action, but allow yourself to make a clear decision and as much as possible be confident in backing that up. And that might, open up some can of worms or some conversations that don't feel as good, but you're able to handle it. As I said that I flipped this card as the King of Swords in reverse. You might come across some people who don't understand why you can't meet their expectations, or perhaps even they have their own expectations that are opposite to yours. They don't quite align, they don't quite match. And this could seem like you need to be in conflict, but I don't get the sense that that is true. Just because someone else has a different opinion or their own just as equally firm understanding of what needs to happen doesn't make yours any less real. And it might even be an invitation to communicate to them your sense of burden and capacity at this time. Sometimes when we're trying to focus on the outcome, we don't communicate, the reasons why our outcome is our outcome. So that is a bit of an invitation to get clearer on your communication. Down here, we have the 10 of Cups sideways. I think it's also important to remember at this time of the year that we can have a lot of expectation around how things should go. So whether that's due to presents in gift giving, family gatherings, outings with friends, what your holidays should or shouldn't look like, or even it's the end of a year and it's the start of the next, and that new year energy, we can have a lot of expectations on, how things should be. And should is a very destructive word when we're not examining what comes after it. So allow yourself to be clear on what is and what you desire and what you want and how you want to move through this time, and be very cautious, again, thinking like gently cautious on where your expectations might not be rooted in your own reality, but just in maybe fear, judgment, or past patterning. And this one that's flipped out, we've got the Nine of Cups. I see this as another cross opportunity to understand that card a little bit better. And it was interesting that both of these sideways cards are tens. We have this Nine of Cups, and it's like, it's okay if your vision isn't quite as grand and magical as like a Christmas movie, or you don't suddenly step into 2025 and you get $1 million and you get a girlfriend and you get the best job of your life and everything is easy breezy. Like, just making sure that what you choose, what you're aiming for, what feels good to you, what fills your cup is yours. Like, you're standing in front of it, claiming it, owning it, knowing it. That is very, very important. So already I get the sense here that this is really about communication with yourself, communication about your vision, communication about your capacity. This is a season of communication, and there will be challenges, and there's going to be potentially people or even just like events, opportunities, moments where you will feel maybe a little bit defensive, but you do have the right to own what you want. On the bottom of the deck here, we do have the Ace of Cups. This is an opportunity to receive more gracefully and more fully and really overflow with this giving energy, but you need to be open to it. We can't be shut down. We can't be locked down. We need to have, again, that sort of nine energy of knowing what we want and also being on that sort of balance and scale of also willing to receive exactly what we want and nothing more. We don't need more than we need. And that isn't a judgment on what you should get or what you should spend or what your life should look like. But truly, if you know what you want, it's easier or easy to say no to what is outside of that. And I think that is another sort of lesson and gift in this season. Let's have a look at some of the energies and opportunities coming your way in the next week to 2 weeks, which is in your best interest, highest good. Enthusiasm, dill, and there's like a shooting star on this card. So this is a magical herb oracle, so they're all plants. Yeah, shooting for what keeps you like excited and enthusiastic and feeling good. Follow your feelings in the next week to 2 weeks. That is supported by desire, and it's got this little genie lamp down there as well. Don't be afraid to make wishes. Don't be afraid to think about if what I wanted was possible and really like anchor in that belief and lean into that desire. You know, how would I be showing up? How would I be shining? I really see this enthusiasm helping lead you to that lamp moment of where you're really like mentally, emotionally, physically attaching to the idea and to the concept and to the faith and trust that this is possible for me. Then finally, we have purification, and it's got all this like smoke in the background. Then allowing anything that doesn't match your enthusiasm or doesn't meet your desire or isn't in the direction of your shooting star to be purified and cleansed. Sometimes when we get really clear on what we do want, it's super duper clear on what we don't want. And that can be a little bit triggering, a little bit worrying at times if there's a lot of things in your vicinity or life that you do not want. But remember, you get to claim what you want, you get to deny what you don't want. And that's where the purification comes in. If it is energies, if it is emotions, if it is simply this feeling and this sense of like there's a lot I want to change and a lot of things in my life that I'm ready to release, even if you can't do it immediately, do some form of purification. Whatever that looks like for you, it doesn't really matter. I always encourage an intuitive approach. So doing what works for you, but also allowing your, your impulse, your intuition, your feeling to lead you. Sometimes I use a bell, sometimes I use crystals in very intuitive, weird ways. I've never like read about it. It's just how I feel it. Sometimes bringing more plants into your room. I do have incense and candles and different things. It's all about your intention that you bring to the activity of purification. Though whatever you use, make sure it is safe for yourself, for your home, for the people around you. Okay, let's think about transitioning into next week. A little bit of direction, a little bit of focus and purpose. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to mean Sunday to Monday. It's just shifting energy. What is coming away and what's going to support you moving forward? I feel more called to the one on the bottom. I think because this is the energy that you're leaving, and this is just reflective and awareness on what's not working and what hasn't worked and what you don't want. You're going to get very clear on that. But I really encourage you, and I get the sense because I felt really drawn to this other card instead. It's like you get to choose. Are you going to change your life because you hate it, or are you going to change your life because you love what's possible? And that is really what I'm seeing here with these two gifts. Are you going to look at things through the lens of what you don't like, or are you going to look at things through the lens of what lights you up and what feels good? We're consciously choosing this one. All right, so that was the card again. This eye with like a rainbow coming out of it. And on the back, the more purposeful your life is, the less you'll envy the lives of others. We won't be distracted by comparison if we are captivated by purpose. Bob Goff. So again, this is that opportunity that's been very present and clear in this entire reading, is like you get to choose what is for you and what is not. And then your work is to commit to that. There's a question and an affirmation that you may wish to carry through with you in the week. When and where do I find myself stuck in comparison? That is a good reflective activity if you've been feeling the urge to get into journaling, or if you are a journaler and this is just another prompt that you can use. I highly encourage you to lean into it. Your affirmation, I would recommend you using this at least for the next like 6 or 7 days. You can say it throughout the day. You can have it written on your hand. You can have a sticky note. You can have a reminder on your phone. You might just get up in the morning and it's the first thing you write, or the first thing you see, or the first thing you say. But just allow this to sit with you. My focus is fixed on my path and my path alone. That would also be a very powerful affirmation when you do see yourself in comparison, being triggered, or even just noticing when people are seemingly further along in their life or in a direction that you want to head than you are currently. That is such a beautiful message. I really think that is the biggest gift in this reading today. Speaking of gifts, especially at this time for the rest of December, when you or anyone you know purchases a private reading with me, so this is a 30-minute tarot and oracle reading on Zoom, personalized to you. You can ask as many questions as you want in that 30 minutes and we'll get through them. Or if you do a 12-month forecast, is where I do a 30+ page PDF report, again, personalized to you, your next 12 months through 2025. When you purchase either of those, you also get a gift one to give to a friend. Or if you don't have someone in mind that you would like to gift it to, you can, allow me to choose someone in need who may not be able to afford it, and I can pass it along to them as a gift on your behalf. So when you purchase a personal Zoom reading or a 12-month forecast, there is another one gifted to someone this season. And that is just for the rest of December. So you can order it in December and redeem it later on. That is totally cool. It's just the purchase happening in December. All right. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week, and let me know in the comments below if this landed, if it resonated, and what you're going to do about it. That is the most important part. It's about integration. It's about embodiment. We do awareness here, but it's up to you to take it further forward. See you next time.